Alright, everybody. We're just gonna get some stuff set up real quick and then we'll just go over this. Just wanted to do a nice little live stream for everybody and kind of go through what I'm bringing in and what I think will be useful, and then just a couple of nice loadouts, and we'll kind of go over some build crafting and kind of my thought process of what I'll be doing on that as well. But other than that, let me just get this thing set up. Alright. So my plan is to pull Warlock in first. I'll also have my Titan ready to go in case we need a little more Titan action. But overall, I think our team is built around Warlocks and Titans pretty well. So we'll just have some versatility. But here's what I'll be bringing in. So let's go over weapons that I think will be, pretty useful overall, and then we'll kind of get into some of the builds and some of my thought processes on that. So for kinetic weapons, we've got a lot of strong options going on right now, but I'm just going to pick some of my favorites that I'll be definitely taking in. I plan on using a combination of stasis and void for my Warlock, and I'll also have well in my pocket in case we need it, but I believe we'll have a couple of Warlocks, so I don't know if I'll need it. But the Perseus D, one of my favorite scouts this particular season, comes with some great perk options. This one is one of my favorites. It's a rapid hit headstone. Synergizes extremely well with my stasis build, and it does a great job at hitting hard. It works great with stasis too because of the intrinsic traits, the Hake breach armaments. So you do increased damage against vehicles, turrets, barricades, and stasis crystals. And this is important because it makes it so I don't have to use a fragment in order to do extra damage to the crystals, and it makes me frees me up for additional options. But this one is extremely strong. It's got 100 recoil direction with arrowhead break. Rapid hit helps you with stability and reload. Obviously, headstone is extremely strong and can help out with that ad clear as well. And then you'll see in my stasis build that headstone just really works great. I'm also going to have a crate, a headstone stats for all version. The autos are hitting pretty hard right now, and I think it'll be another really great option. I've also got another Perseus, so I'll use a Vorpal in case I need it. The Duty Bound I might play around with too, just because of the Vanguard's Vindication. If I find that I'm struggling to stay alive, this trait works extremely well. Final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of health. Gives you about 25 HP per red bar, which was really nice. The nice thing with it is it's not like Unrelenting where you have to hit those 3 to 4 targets. You just get one target down, a much smaller chunk of health, but it does build up over time. So if you're clearing ads pretty quickly, this one could be pretty strong as well. I am going to be bringing in Arbalist and the Osteostriga for my exotics that I might put in up top. We'll just see, but obviously really strong. And then I'll just have a nice blinding grenade launcher. This ignition code's really nice because you've got the slideways, so you can just keep it loaded up. You've got Vorpal or Danger Zone, and of course you've got the blinding, or if I wanted to use it for some DPS, you could slap Spike on it, but I don't think I'll be doing that. But overall, those are my kinetic weapons I'll be bringing in. Just all really strong options. You've got some shotguns that if you feel like you need those for ad clear, this could be really strong as well. Any of the shotguns with subsistence can really do some work. As far as energy weapons, I'll bring in my Enigma just because I still feel it's a really strong weapon. We'll bring Dead Messenger just in case, Divinity just in case, Telesto because you never know if there's something that Telesto breaks. But those exotics should pair really nicely with everything else, and they give you a lot of versatility. So if you need some extra damage buff, you can pop Divinity out. If we're doing a lot of ad clear, Telesto does really strong as well. But overall, I think those are the exotics I'll bring in. And then I'm just bringing in some utility players. I'll bring in a firing line sniper. I've got this golden tricorn fusion rifle, which is really strong. I've been really liking it, and I think that it's got some possibilities, especially paired with a Void class. I think an adaptive munitions weapon is going to be really strong, so I'm just going to bring in the pulse, just the curated roll that they gave everybody. I think that it can help you out with some sticky situations if we come into some problems with shield that we need to break, and we can do with that. But overall, this one should be pretty strong as well. And then I'll just bring in, a standard bow, Archer's Tempo, Explosive Head. Should be really strong. This Under Your Skin bow is really nice. I'll probably upgrade it all the way so I get that draw time down. But overall, real strong bow. If you haven't gotten one yet, go check that sucker out. And that's really what I'll be bringing in for energy weapons. And then I'll bring in the standard selection for heavy, just in case. Obviously, we're going to have Gjallarhorn. Sleeper. Depending on the encounter, Parasite might be strong. Deathbringer is doing extremely high damage, especially when you're pairing it with a Void class and taking advantage of Font of Might. And then for my non-exotic weapons, I'll be bringing in a stasis rocket launcher. I've got the impulse amplifier, lasting impression. I might do some work with this today and get it upgraded so I can get lasting impression enhanced trait. This corrective measure is a add clear beast with subsistence on, and then you put backup mag on it. You can really do some work, never reload. You can almost just get yourself down all the way to 0 everything and just clear out adds. And then we'll bring a firing line, Reed's Regret. Again, firing line is real strong. That 35% is no joke, and typically in raids you're going to be having at least 2 other people next to you, so you can really take advantage of firing line a little easier than, say, like a Grandmaster. So that's weapons. That'll be my full queue. I've got a couple things in the back pocket just in case, if I needed to break out a Wither Horde or some other things. But overall, I think that's what I'm going to be leaning on, and I'll probably start off with either this exact loadout or with the auto rifle loadout. But I am going to be starting off with my stasis build, and I'll be putting out a more detailed build on the stasis build probably today too. But this build is extremely strong. In the Shadebinder loadout, I'm going to be having a Healing Rift. We're going to be rocking Cold Snaps, Ice Flare Bolts, shattering a frozen target spawns the Seekers. Glacial Harvest, so we can take advantage of elemental shards and Font of Might and some additional mods. And as far as fragments, the setup is Whisper of Conduction, so those shards come to you. Torment, when you get damaged, you gain grenade energy. We'll have shards, so when I break one of those headstone crystals, my grenade energy is boosted. And we'll have fissures, so damaging the size and burst of a stasis crystal or a frozen target is increased. These work really well with this particular loadout, and it's all built around the OSMIOMANCY gloves. Probably saying that wrong, but these are extremely strong. We'll kind of go through this build real quick so you can see, but for the head, I've got a couple options where you can make additional orbs with your super for your team, or I can take advantage of psionic forging and then pop maybe a little more resilience if I needed to. But and then I can have my rocket finder, I can have my linear fusion finder, machine gun finder, whatever it is. So I've got space for that. And then I've got the Font of Might, just to bump up that kinetic a little bit. On the hands, we don't know if there's going to be champions or whatnot, so I have some options if I needed to run, like an Unstoppable. I could run Glaive here and get rid of the Kickstart, because you don't really need Kickstart with it. You'll find that this particular loadout is nuts. I was running Mastered Nightfalls yesterday, and I must have thrown 60 grenades. You just constantly have the grenades, and it just gives you the ability to put down the turrets and really lay down probably some of the best ad control that you can put into the game right now. Really strong. You'll see we have elemental shards there. and you've got some flexibility to adjust for champions. As far as the chest piece, we'll be rocking a firepower, and we're going to rock 2 of those, and then pair it up with an elemental charge as well. So between the 2 firepowers, the intrinsic perk on the gloves, which states that cold snap grenades have an additional charge, so you get 2 already, and then when they direct impact a target, you get increased recharge, which is really nice. So paired that with the firepower, you get your grenade back almost instantly. And with the improved cold snap grenades with the gloves, when it hits a target, it freezes them, and then it tracks to an additional 2 or 3 targets depending on how many are in there. Each one of those hits gives you grenade energy back. On top of that, when you put on the Ice Flare bolts, when I kill one of those frozen targets, they send out Seekers again, and those Seekers also give you grenade energy. So you can almost, if you've got a full room of ads, you can pretty much freeze the entire room, and while you're freezing, your teammates can be just destroying things, and overall just works great. Glacial Harvest is giving you those shards, so you're taking advantage of Font of Might and the firepower paired with elemental charge. It really is one of the strongest builds that I've come across right now in Witch Queen, and really fun, really fun. The other thing I'll try out is I will be rocking my Void build that you saw in the video from last week, but we'll be rocking Echo of Expulsion, we'll be rocking Echo of Remnants, Echo of Persistence, Feed the Void, and Chaos Accelerant. We'll pair that with Vortex Grenade, and we will rock it with Controverse Hold. And then one of the really cool things is if you rock Devouring Depths. Casting your Void Super while you're critically wounded or benefiting from Devour increases the damage that your super does. So that Nova Bomb gets that 20% buff, which is really nice. And with this loadout, it's extremely easy to take advantage of Devour. You get into a boss fight, you throw down a grenade into a group of ads, and then you just lay out until you drop your Nova Bomb. So it does a really nice job, and I really like this Nova Bomb because you can slap it out there and then continue on with either Galahorn or Deathbringer, or whatever the boss encounter really works with. The reason I'm bringing in all of these different options is it's going to depend on the boss. If you have big tankier bosses, you want to have Galahorn. If they have a nice crit spot that you can hit, Sleeper is going to do some work. If you have a boss that's also got a lot of ads around it, the Deathbringer does a nice job at keeping it, high damage and crowd control. So overall, just a lot of options there. But I think that the stasis subclass is going to be really key, and I don't think a lot of people are bringing stasis in. I think a lot of our team is planning on Void and then one Warlock, so this just gives us some versatility, and then keeps us just a little more on our toes to keep things going. The other things that I'll be bringing in is I'll be bringing in a Phoenix Protocol just in case we need an additional well. Mantle of Battle Harmony works really well with the Void subclass too, especially when you run something like this setup, and then you can be a little more free to either go with this, and then what happens is you get that super back extremely fast, so you can utilize that, and if you're not using your super, then all of your additional weapons are going to be doing more damage, and when you pair that with the Devouring Depths, you can get your additional damage from Deathbringer for your first couple of shots, and then slap off your increased damage Nova Bomb at the end, and so you're taking advantage of both. You're kind of double dipping on DPS, and then you can always just do a quick dim swap and then go back to Controverse. And then when you go back to DPS, again, it's a kind of a cycle loop. But being that it's a new raid, we don't really know what these encounters are going to look like. So I just wanted to be prepared and have everything kind of ready to go. Let's take this little guy into a Nightfall, and we'll kind of see what it can do. We'll just go into a legend real quick. Let's see, let's put on this. We'll put on this guy. This particular loadout was going to be a lot stronger, but unfortunately Bungie just disabled suppressing glaive, so something to keep an eye on. Okay, well let's take the sucker in and we'll see what it does. But overall, really liking the excitement for the day one raid. I think it's going to be probably the best day one raid that Bungie's done. The power leveling this season has been extremely easy. I'm sure everyone's finding it extremely easy to get to that 1530, and they are capping the whole raid at 1530. They're not going to be increasing it as you go, so very accessible. Very accessible.
Time for me to step out. Cade, I leave it to you. Okay,
Can already see there that I got my grenade back already, which is kind of nuts.
So we better get started. Item the first.
Strike's been started for a while.
Okay, here comes this guy. Get that finisher off. Spawning heavy ammo for everybody. More grenades.
All the paths to the rest of the
Just
base
overall,
are tight.
just
Get me to
really
a
strong
console.
build. You're getting
I'll
those
take
shards
care of
back. You're getting all your grenades back. It really does a just nice job. Like I said, you can really spam them up, and when you do have teammates, the ad clear just is extremely strong. When you do freeze multiple targets, and then you end up killing them, you'll kill packs because of the whisper mods. Oops, I missed my grenade on that one. Ooh, I forgot about this thresher. Let's do a better job on this one. Let's get this thresher this time so I don't forget about it. Oh, thresher's gone. Sweet.
That tank just exposed a solar fuel cell.
I really love what the glaive does too. I think that the glaive is just really strong. This particular load with the enhanced impulse amplifier and the enhanced unstoppable force, really strong. Not something that anyone should overlook. I think it makes the glaive probably one of the best weapons in the game. Oh, okay. Just get a little bit of heavy ammo here. I'll have to go back for the ball. Oh, nope, it left. We'll just clean some things up and then we'll go. Okay. You can really see on this loadout that, I mean, the crowd control is crazy strong. Gallahorn obviously is really strong, but the amount of freezing that you can put down is pretty insane. You pair it with maybe a second stasis guy, and you have maybe a Void Warlock, 2 stasis Warlocks, maybe a Void Titan, so you can have the banner shield going on, and then a tether. I mean, there's not an encounter that you probably can't just blow through. Even under leveled, I think it's going to be real strong. Constantly full of heavy, constantly having your grenades up. Haven't even had to use that super. It's just really fun build. Alright. And if you guys are in need of materials, Senate shards, prisms, this master is extremely easy, even if you're under light. Lucent finisher paired with 3 Gallahorns and a couple good loadouts, and this thing, you can just fly through it. Fly through it. Okay, I'm just gonna miss all my jumps today. Okay. Then the increased damage on the Hake weapons, by the way, for against vehicles is really nice. Really nice. Get a couple galleys off, you don't have to waste all your heavy ammo on them. This guy should be down now. There we go. Okay, now we can just move on to all these ads. At this point, I'll probably just pop this. Freeze that guy. One thing I don't know if everyone knows about, but when you are... Oh, got stuck with a grenade. But when you are attacking with the glaive, if you do hold L2 while you're doing the melee attack, you can kind of skip that that melee lag that it has. So like if you just do the regular melee, but then if you guard, you can melee. It's not quite twice as fast, but it's pretty fast. Yeah. See that when you're breaking those crystals, you can really just bulk up on your stuff and get your grenade right back. Ooh, that wasn't smart. Yeah, that wasn't smart. I should have just cleaned it out from the edge. Okay, we'll stop messing around. Let's see if we can't get these guys all frozen up here. Come on, poke that head out. Okay. Let's go get this guy down. Get this heavy right here. Oh, really? Okay. Beautiful. Overall, real fun build. I think you guys will really enjoy this one. And again, paired with the team, it's pretty unmatched. Oof. I'm just gonna get rid of this, okay? Come on, come to me. There you go. Oh, man, that Goliath tank just, I mean, laced one through. That was even in the air. But I think overall you guys got the gist. But, you know, I think this particular loadout and everything will be extremely strong. But my advice to everyone out there for the raid is, you know, have some versatility in your pocket. I mean, even bring in boots of assembler just in case we really need that. But you bring yourself some options. Have a couple things that you've upgraded that you can, you know, really just spec into. And overall, I think you'll have a great raid experience. Really excited for it. I'll be putting out a full video on, you know, the Shadebinder build and what it can really do, you know, and all the other high-end stuff. But overall, get out there, try out that raid if you're gonna be ready for it, and good hunting. We'll see you guys on the next one.